Hello guys, how are you doing? My name is Wilfred and welcome to this channel where it's all about easy meals at home. Today is not any different. We are making yet another sumptuous meal. This time round we are going to be making garlic mushroom rice. My goodness, you will love it. It's so easy, so cheap. Remember, this channel is all about affordable meals, easy meals and affordable meals at home. You can actually find them in your own house. So join me and see how I come up with that nice rice. Now we are going to be using basmati rice, the one with small grains. I've already washed mine and it is dried up now. So go ahead, wash yours and rinse it until it's clear of starch. And then I'm going to be using also oyster mushrooms. What I'm doing with them is just cutting them up like this. Go ahead and just cut them anyway. This rice will be tasty, guys. Oyster mushrooms do not, if you don't know how they are grown, guys, check out my video. You will see how I was harvesting oyster mushrooms. These are not grown on the ground, and because they are not grown on the ground, they are normally clean. So what you do, you just go on and rinse them, and then just rinse, don't soak, because the moment you soak, you change their texture and they will not come out as good. You see mine are dry simply because I just rinsed them. So I'm chopping them up big chunks, and these will go very well in my rice, and it will look really, really sumptuous and taste good as well. Those of you who have tasted mushrooms before, you will tell me how this goes if you try it at home. So all I'm doing now is cutting them up into big chunks, and then I'm going to work with 3 purple onions, small size, and then I've got here 6 cloves of garlic, because it's garlic rice. This is the kind of rice, if you don't want garlic, you should stay away from, because it will really taste and smell like garlic. So you go on and chop up your green bell pepper. I'm just using 1 green bell pepper. I'll also use some oatmeal to garnish. So all I'm doing now is chopping this up into this size. I'm not going very thin simply because of my mushrooms. Now in the meantime, you get a pan and put it on fire and get cooking. I've grated my garlic in order to be able to squeeze those aromas out. Otherwise, if you just choose to chop them up, that can also work, but grating is better, because then it is fine particles that will allow the aromas to hit you even before you eat. So that's with my green pepper. Time for the onions. Now the onions, I'll also go small cuts, simply because it's not about onions this time, it's about garlic and the mushrooms. So that's why I've used more mushrooms than onions. Now I've put the pan on fire, and I'm just going to add about 3 tablespoons of oil, and then allow this to cook a bit before I add in the rice. Now once the oil has heated up, I add in the onions and cook these until they've browned a bit or they are translucent. Now to this I add the garlic, and then give it a quick stir. And then add in the mushrooms. Now to this I'm going to add the mushrooms. This rice, guys, is garlic rice in mushrooms. If you're not one who loves garlic, this is one that you should stay away from, because it will really smell and taste like garlic. Now to this I'm going to add in rice now. This is a kilo of rice or 2 cups of rice, depending on the type of cups that you're using, but it's a kilogram of rice. Now I already boiled the water that we are going to be using to make our rice. Now to this I'm also going to add salt to taste. Now you can put salt to your preference, otherwise a teaspoon of salt is good, depending again on the kind of salt that you're using. Now don't forget we have green bell peppers that we'll introduce much later, but right now it's just these ingredients getting to know each other very well. Now to this I'm adding the water. This is hot water, guys, so don't use any other water. Now because there are 2 cups of water, you go ahead and use 4 cups of water, or otherwise if you're going to put in a rice cooker, go ahead and cook your rice from there. Now I'll cover this and let it cook until now our garlic rice is starting to dry up. Time for me to add in the green bell peppers and give them a quick stir, and then we see how our rice will look like after. Guys, remember not to add in other spices because it is garlic, mushroom rice, so it's strictly got to be those 2, garlic and rice and mushrooms. So the green bell peppers I'm putting is just to allow our rice to get some color. Otherwise those mushrooms will look like chicken when you serve. So to those who are vegetarian, guys, this is a very good menu that you can adopt. And towards the end of your rice, because all this time it has been covered, you leave it open so that you can remove that excess moisture and allow it to dry really well and come out really nice and flaky.